Okay, so welcome back. We're gonna try this. I did the first two recordings and somehow I forgot that OBS records TS on top of it. So those two are probably foobar because I can't figure out how to get that to work. So anyway, we are doing a TCRC. Right now I am the AAA, so I am the meat shield. So I'm going in first and I'm going to tell the fleet this is preloaded or not. And right now it is not. No preload. So I just told them that it's not preloaded. It is not preloaded. I am not going to die. Alright. So I just messed up and I told them that it was not preloaded, but they just heard the preload and came in early. But it's fine. It's all good. It just means that there's going to be less aggro consolidated on me and more on other people. Because ideally, like if it's preloaded, all this shit is already in here, which is really dangerous because then people die very quickly. So you just tell your fleet and then the fleet gets in here really quick. But right now, see, like there's all these other ships that are not targeting me, which kind of makes it hard for the DPS or the Logi because they have to rep more than one person at once, which kind of gets a little complicated. But it should be good. I think I'm stable. I have no problem with this. I'm good to go. But everyone else, yeah, they're fine. We're fine. Alright, so right now we're killing the Atunis. The Atunis are down. That's the dangerous part because those are the ones that can neutralize. So those are the ones you want to watch out for. But I didn't have them, so I was fine. And whoever had them, broadcasted for Cap, looks like it was Demar. He was fine. He broadcasted for Cap, got the Cap from the Bazzies. Everyone's good to go. So I am going to start burning right now because I'm the AAA, so I'm actually functioning as the anchor on this one. So I already know where to go. I'm going to end up in between this tower and these shield transfer arrays. That way the DPS ships will be bashing this tower because we're just taking out these deltals real quick because they have a lot of high DPS. So while we're moving from the beacon to this tower, because this is the objective, we want to break this tower down. So while we're moving to the tower, we're going to take out these high DPS deltals on the way there. And I'm still webbed by this asshole Renin. I'm going to broadcast in position because I'm not getting shot anymore. Hopefully this guy will move his web. Alright, we're good. So now we're going to burn to where we're supposed to be. If I wasn't AAA, then I would actually just be anchoring on the tower because the tower is the main objective, and if you're at the tower, then you're within shooting range or anything. These deltals, they're in between us and the tower, so it doesn't matter. We don't need to get anywhere to be able to shoot those. So if you were any other type of ship, like a Vindicator or a Rock or a Hyperion, you would just get right up on this and start smashing it. But the rest of us, and then like snipers would just be 40, 50 kilometers off. Okay, there's also another part, it's called the MTAC, and that's this guy over here. So you have to pick up an item from the MTAC factory and drop it into the shield transfer control tower. Because if you don't do that, oops, I went a little too far. I need to keep it range, 20 km on that. Let's mic warp drive a little bit to get out there. Because if you don't MTAC, then these shield transfer arrays will rep the battle tower, which is bad. Because I've seen it where our MTAC DCs or something else, and we'll have the tower down to 20% structure and it will repair all the way up to full, which no one likes to do. Alright, that was just me telling these Macarials that they're supposed to be anchored on the tower, not on me. It doesn't really matter, because they're going to be in optimal range anyway, but it's just, you know, something else to do. Ooh, 8,000. That was a nice hit. Let's get these drones on the tower. So yeah, this is the most dangerous and the shortest one. It's most dangerous because, as you saw from the very beginning, if one person, like if that was a preload, I would have had all of those ships target me at the same time, which can be very dangerous if you don't know. And that's how I actually died the first time. Actually, we can pull that up. My loss. This is 8 days ago. I came into my very first TCRC. I was the AAA. I didn't know it was preloaded. I didn't know what that meant. Well, I did, but like I didn't understand that I was supposed to tell everyone to get in. So I didn't tell everyone to get in. Well, I did, but they didn't get in fast enough. And I died in 19 seconds. Went from 100% to 0. And it was the same ship as this one. So I had the 26k shields with the crazy resist with the pith and B types, and it didn't matter. I just died. But most of the time you won't have to worry about it because they won't put a new person on AAA. You'll be one of the last people in. Most of the times if I run this, I'm not the AAA, I won't even be shot at. Like maybe they'll switch aggro once or twice, but other than that you're fine. And then the only other dangerous part is that when you have all of those ships before you start shooting all the deltas down when you first come in, if they're all shooting on one person, they'll hard switch onto a second. So whoever that second person is needs to be on the ball, because if you late broadcast and they hard switched onto you, you're probably going to die, and it's really bad. So yeah. Other than that, it's pretty easy, because like you have the Utunis to kill, the Deltals to kill, and that's it. Then you just shoot the tower. So it's pretty simple. So yeah, I need to figure out how to fix those first two videos, but I'll figure that out. I might just re-record them. So tower is dying, it's getting there, Intact's doing its thing. I'm just sitting here shooting some stuff. I guess someone in fleet is way off position. He's not too far off. You could be closer though. Like there's no excuse to not be like 15 kilometers off as a Macaro. Like you want to be as close as possible. Like there's very little damage. I mean, it is a lot of damage, but it's manageable. It's no problem. So yeah, you just sit there, shooting the tower, and then what's going to happen after this is that we're not going to kill any of this. So all these Ulis, all these Osties, the Intakis, the Aga will kill this, because this can point you and keep you from going away. The Ramis will stay. The Shmails will kill, but we're not killing these two because two of them will respawn. So killing these won't do anything. You'll just waste DPS because they'll just respawn and come back. But if you kill the tower and then kill the two Shmails and then kill the Aga, then there's none of this stuff will point you. None of it does. So the whole fleet can just warp off at once and then you're done. Because once you kill this tower, you get the money. So you just kill the tower, kill the points, and then you're done. But it's kind of dangerous because some new people will come in, this will be their first sight, and they'll miss the align to and the warp out. And so, well, you don't warp everyone off at once because it's dangerous. So you warp all the battleships off first because, yeah. And then you have the FC, which is usually in a battleship, and then all the Logi behind, just in case. Because sometimes there's one person who didn't quite get the memo, and they're just sitting there at 0 somewhere in space, and we tell them, all right, just warp off anywhere, like a Stargate station, doesn't matter. So when they get off the field, and then once everyone is safe, then we all warp off. That way we can make sure that everyone gets out safe and no one dies. And it's usually not that bad. Like, it's a pretty safe process. I think yesterday I was a logistics pilot in my Scimitar, and we had a paladin DC at the extraction phase. But he was pointed, so actually no, he wasn't pointed. So he DC'd, but he was at 0 speed, so he wasn't aligned or anything. But then you have the emergency warp when you DC, and in the process of him, because when he disconnected, he couldn't broadcast, and we were busy with the aligning and the extraction that we didn't pay attention. But I saw him in my overview, because my overview has fleet members filtered, but not neutral ships. So I saw the neutral paladin, locked him up, broadcasted target, and he ended up getting out in 63% structure, I think, just because we had him shield repped while he was warping out. So it's kind of dangerous for that, but other than that, like most of the time. All right, so the tower just died. We got our money. Recalling drones. I'm gonna kill the Aga. Where'd the Aga go? Is he already dead? Oh, I guess someone killed the Aga. Or we'll kill the Schmales. Then the line 2 should be coming up soon enough. Alright, so we're going to a TPPH next. So I'm probably going to re-record this TPPH because I don't want to figure out how to delete the TS from it. So I'll just redo this TPPH and go from there. Alright. Alright, so I just got the call from the FC to warp out, so all battleships are out. And yeah, that was 11 minutes, so that was pretty fast. Because I think, well, the first TPPH I recorded was like 26 minutes. And then the NRF was 18 or so. But I'm going to have to re-record those, so we'll see how fast they actually end up. We have a better fleet than we did for the first 2 runs, so it'll probably end up faster. But alright, so this is it, and I'm going to go do this TPPH, so you've probably already seen it. But I'm going to go run that and record it, and then hopefully we should have an NRF after that, and we'll be done with this. Alright, so see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.